Bonjour tout le monde, welcome back to Oui In France. I'm Diane, and here on this channel we talk about everyday French life and beyond from the point of view of an American who's lived in France since 2012. All right, let's get right into today's video, all about things I had never seen until I moved to France. And just a note that these things aren't necessarily French things that you'll only find in France or that don't exist anywhere else in the world or places like the USA. It's just that they're things I personally had never seen or experienced until I moved to France. Okay, so number one, baguette vending machines. Baguettes, as you know, are a huge part of French culture. They're a staple. So of course you can grab a fresh one from a vending machine, and milk too. And they come in handy after hours once the bakery has closed for the day. Or, if all you want is a baguette and the line is super long, head to a bakery with a baguette vending machine so you don't have to wait in line. And since first spotting a baguette machine a few years ago, I've noticed they've become even more and more popular now as time goes on, and I see them quite often, including this one that I made a really short video on here at my local grocery store. And you'll see them in the parking lots, you'll see them in front of bakeries, and while they're not crazy popular, they do exist. And where our recent Charente Canal cruise was docked, they even had viennoiserie in the machine as well. So croissant, pain au chocolat, and depending on the machine's popularity, they're restocked maybe 2-3 times a day. Okay, number two, restrooms that you have to pay to use. And this includes both public toilets that you see on the street and also bathrooms that are inside places like the train station. And I would say 50 centimes is the norm, but I've seen staffed toilets, nice ones, in train stations that actually cost 70 centimes to use. And it's even very common to use bank cards to pay. You just swipe, you do the sans contact, and there you go. You can go use the bathroom. Okay, number three, room temperature milk and eggs. And if you're not aware, in the US, milk and eggs are generally refrigerated in the supermarket. But in France, you'll find them both at room temperature, and milk and eggs are usually in the same aisle. So if you're looking for them next to the yogurt or cheese, you won't find them. And there's definitely a reason why they aren't refrigerated. And I'll link that explanation below if you want to learn more about the specifics of that. Okay, let me just pause for a minute. Quick word, I'm so excited to tell you I've launched my very first ebook. It's for beginner bloggers, so stick around to the end for more info on that. And also, I have a line of Francophile merch that I designed, including this cool mug. I don't know if it'll focus. This cool mug, the shirt I'm wearing. So check out that link below, but let's continue on with number four. All right, 4, hedgehogs. Now, before moving to France, my hedgehog knowledge basically consisted of the video game character Sonic the Hedgehog. And of course, I'd seen porcupines up close and in the flesh back in the USA, but I'd never once seen an actual hedgehog in real life. And yeah, I knew what they were, but I had never seen it. Kind of in the same category as a kangaroo, where I know what kangaroos are, but I know they also exist in Australia, and I've never been fortunate enough to go there and take a look in person. So it was foreign to me, right? So anyway, shortly after moving to France, one of these spiky guys crossed the street right in front of us when I was walking my dog Dagny, and it was on a nighttime walk. I believe they're mostly nocturnal, and I did a double take, like, what the heck is that? This slow, calm, slow-moving thing. And they get frightened, I think, very easily, and they mind their own business. They're not dangerous or aggressive. And they're actually kind of cute once you see its little face and feet up close. And since that run-in the first night, I've seen a whole bunch of them, including this little guy pictured above. Tom snapped this picture on our trip last month to Pornic in the Loire-Atlantique. All right, number 5, sticking with creatures for a moment, processionary caterpillars. And these are the stuff of nightmares, really. I went into detail about these pesty things in a video that I'll link up here. But just to sum it up, pine processionary caterpillars are a species of toxic caterpillars that I first discovered, I'm still traumatized by it, when my dog came across them on a sidewalk one day right after I had moved to France. And, they're native to my area of France and many other areas here in Western Europe, but they are not native to the northeast area of the US where I grew up. So it didn't even cross my mind that, oh, caterpillars, they could be toxic. It didn't even cross my mind. And not only can they be a nuisance, but as I said, they're toxic. And that toxin comes out from their little spiky hairs upon contact, like a dog's curious nose or a small child. So keep an eye out for these processionary caterpillars. They'll be nose to tail and a huge line. So if you spend any time in France or other Western European nations, be aware and stay away. And even for adults, they'll really irritate your skin. Won't be cool. And on that note, giant spiders freak me out too, and they come in my house, you know, that whole lack of screens issue, but I'll save that little creature creepy crawly story for another day. Blah. Okay, number 6, people parking backwards and on the sidewalk. And I mean, basically the front end of the car is not going in the same direction of traffic. And really, the French make New Yorkers look good when it comes to driving. That's all I'll say there. And just keep in mind, people have very interesting ways of parking in France, and I really don't know if it's legal or if it's just not enforced, but you see this interesting parking configuration all over France, and it does seem to be tolerated. Okay, number 7, horse meat in the supermarket. And while it's not super common, and I would say chicken, beef, and pork would be the most commonly seen meat options in the regular supermarket, horse meat is something you see packaged up on the shelf at everyday supermarkets, and it's called cheval. So have a look for that. If you see cheval on the sticker, steer clear if you don't want to eat horse. This is a yummy one. Number 8, violette ice cream. And I'm a coffee ice cream kind of gal, so a floral ice cream flavor wouldn't even have been something I'd look twice at. But for some reason that day, I was drawn to this summery flavor in Saint-Malo in Brittany. And it's violet, just to be clear, it's violet like the flower, not the color. But it does have a slight purple hue. And I had never had it, and I have to say, wow, it's probably one of the top 5 ice cream experiences of my life. And trust me, I have a lot of ice cream experiences to draw from over the years, so that's saying a lot. And I don't know how to describe it. It tastes kind of like a flower, like a lavender or rose, since I had no idea what a violet flower would taste like. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but it is delicious. Trust me on that. So I learned sometimes it's worth it to try something new, especially in a new place. And I was pleasantly surprised. And I wouldn't say it's a common flavor. You're not going to find it at the grocery store. But if you go to a specialty gelato shop, a little ice cream stand, and you see it, go for it. Violette. All right, number 9, canal locks. And I knew what canal locks were before coming to France, but I had never seen one in person and definitely could not explain to you how they worked exactly. And that was up until I became intimately familiar with canal locks on our first canal cruise. We loved them in Alsace. I did with my in-laws back in the day. And we did about 20, 30 in that trip. And yeah, many countries have locks. You know, they have a canal system like the UK, but where I was growing up in New Jersey, I never experienced one with a boat myself until I moved to France. So it's they're nothing to be scared of. I think I did a whole video, I'll link it here. And I did a whole vlog on our canal cruise last September from Charente, which you might find of interest. Okay, on to my announcement. For beginner bloggers out there, or those of you who are considering starting a blog, it's my brand new ebook, and I'm so excited about it. It was a labor of love for many months, and I just launched it. It's titled Lifestyle Blogging for Beginners: How to Find Your Voice, Your Niche, and Blog with a Purpose. And it's the book that I wish I had when I first started my Oui In France blog back in 2012. And I put everything I've learned over the years about how to focus in on your blogging content, get clarity from day one of starting your blog instead of, you know, just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. So if you're a new lifestyle blogger, or you want to be, you'll feel less overwhelmed with the information I share in my book. So I'd love for you to check it out or share it with someone who it might be of interest to. I have special pricing because I just launched. You could snap it up now down below. And I'm really proud of what I put together, and I know it'll help you. So if you're a blogger, check it out. All right, as always, thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. Talk to me down below in the comments about things that you had never seen until you came to France. And if any of the things I mentioned above ring true for you, I'd love to hear. So thank you again, merci encore, and I'll see you right back here on Oui In France soon. Salut!